Hi guys, so in this vlog I'm going to be discussing whether there is any difference in technique used between powerlifters who use supportive, which would be called equipped or geared powerlifting, and powerlifters that don't use the supportive gear, which is called raw. And there will be some discussion just about maybe why these differences might be occurring. Now, I'm actually only going to be discussing the squat and the bench press with regards to differences in technique in this video. And the reason for that is because there just doesn't seem to be any real difference in the numbers pulled with or without supportive equipment in the deadlift. Whereas in the squat and the bench press, there's sometimes a difference of hundreds of pounds in the records set. So in the interest of time, I'm just going to stick to squat and bench press discussion. When powerlifters wear special supportive suits and shirts, it's called equipped or geared powerlifting. But we might ask ourselves how or why they would change their technique. The equipment is made of very tight-fitting, tough but stretchable fabrics that store elastic energy and can assist in lifting heavier weights than we would normally be able to lift. Essentially, the lifter is trying to create a slingshot effect.
Went right through.
Okay, so the first exercise we'll start with is the squat, and we'll examine the equipped powerlifter squat first. First thing worth noting is the width of the stance. This will allow the lifter to get a greater stretch on the suit and thus a greater elastic recoil out of the whole of the squat. It also turns it into a much more hip dominant exercise and shortens the total range of motion. However, the gear is quite tight, so as we'll see, descending into the hole can be quite difficult and take a long time. And as we can see in the bottom of the squat, there's really minimal knee flexion. Now in the raw squat, we typically see a more narrow stance. And it tends to be a more knee dominant exercise with greater flexion through the knee. However, while it is not very popular, there are some raw squatters who do adopt this wide stance technique. So next we're going to examine the bench press, and we will start with the equipped bench press. So just like having a wide stance in the squat can be beneficial, so can having a wide grip on the bar in a bench press. And this is because it will stretch the shirt more, and it will shorten the range of motion, which you can probably afford to do if you have all that support from the shirt. However, just like the squat, because the suit is so tight, it can make the lowering part of the bar take a long time. As we can see, it takes a really long time for that bar to get down to the chest. And as we can see in the bottom position, the lifter has his elbows tucked in at his sides. This could also be putting more of a stretch on the shirt, and it could be allowing him to use his triceps more, which tend to be more important in an equipped bench because most equipped benchers would miss at lockout. Now in the raw bench press, grip width appears to be something that can be an awful lot more individualized, with some lifters using a closed grip and others taking a much wider grip on the bar. Although typically most raw powerlifters will take a moderate to wide grip. Many coaches will espouse that the most important thing really is that the wrist stays in line with the elbow joint, so that force is transmitted efficiently. This is probably more important in raw than equipped, because you don't have the support from the shirt in this bottom vulnerable position. And the lift itself is generally quite a lot faster. So in summary, it seems like geared powerlifters gravitate toward a stricter technical model because of the need to exploit the stretch effect with things like wider grips and stances, whereas raw is much more individualized, but most lifters still take a more moderate stance and grip width. So until next time guys, thanks for watching.